and turn square left, 40. Medium right tightens over crest bump, 130. Small absolute crest, 200 uphill. Crest bump, 40k right. 40, caution, k left, don't cut. Turn square right, don't cut. Well done.
The 2003 Northern Ireland Rally Championship hit the ground running on the opening round at Kirkeston, with Eugene Donnelly taking the championship lead. In traditional style, the first championship round wouldn't go by unnoticed, going down to the wire on the final stage, with a scrap for top 5 places ending in disaster for some. The next round takes us northwest to Fermanagh. The spiritual home of rallying in Northern Ireland plays host to round 3. The Buy and Sell Easter Stages Rally is the first of the all-tarmac events in the calendar. This event runs alongside the final day of the Circuit of Ireland, with 100 cars traversing the stages before the Easter Stages entry, adding that extra challenge as muck and stones will be pulled out, waiting to catch them out. With the rally based in Enniskillen, they start from St Angelo Airport, then move north to Drumquin. Stage 1 is northeast, Dudgeon Bridge. The 7.5 mile stage will open proceedings before heading further north for Stage 2, Ross Hill. At 8.2 miles, it is the second longest stage of the day and will be a tough challenge for the crews. Stage 3 is a more narrow affair. The Lisdoo test is the longest at 8.78 miles. Tight, twisty and very bumpy, the final stage of the loop, Berrywater, is more of a contrast. More open and fast, expect high speeds. The loop will be repeated once more for the final stages, where the conditions will really come into play. Heading the entry into the opening test, Dennis Biggerstaff and Damien McCann got down to business in Stage 1. Finishing second by a nose in round 1, they were out for better this time round. Intercom problems hit on Stage 1 with the battery going, leaving them cautious over the 7.5 miles, dropping them back down the leaderboard to 7th overall. James Gillen and Victor Carruthers have finished runners-up in this event 2 years running, with those results also going down to the wire. The Escort Cosworth will be out for blood this year and go quicker than Dennis to take third. A broken front diff in the final stage cost Trevor Moore and Philip McRae a top 3 points finish on round 1. And missing out in round 2, the Carry Duff Auctions Escort Cosworth charged into the opening stage. Setting a blistering pace, they were the fastest so far, with split times indicating them in front. But in this lap, they would catch something on the inside, and lifting the handbrake on this hairpin, the Gremlins were set to strike again.
60. Oh, brakes. Oh, brakes. 3 left over crest. No brakes. Into 4 right. No. Into 1 left. Into long 3 right uphill. 60. You have a long way to go. Turn 5 left over crest. Something broke at the back when you pulled the handbrake. 1 left over junction, 100. Flat crest, 60. Come, 5 right. Yeah, at the back. You have a wheel coming loose and it's knocking the caliper off. Oh. 2 right, don't cut. 60, I think that's what's wrong. 3 left over crest, don't cut. 60. I can't take a chance on it. That's okay, find somewhere to stop.
Gary White was next into the stage. On a high after winning at Kilbrony, Gary was back with Barry Taggart on the notes as they took into Stage 1. With the confidence now to contest, they were going for it, and passing the stricken Trevor Moore, Gary was inspired and pushed on to set fastest on the opening stage, taking the rally lead. Championship leaders Eugene Donnelly and Paddy Toner went into this event after Eugene rolled out of the Circuit of Ireland in the Impreza WRC. He steered to victory on round 1. Back in the trusty Celica, the duo would go for Eugene's second Easter Stages win on the trot as they took on Gary White. Gary would be the quicker as the Kumho Toyota took second place.
4 left and 1 left. 40 in front to 4 right.
A mammoth battle was set for Stage 1. Kieran Shaw and Crawford Henderson were on the move. Their Escort WRC was transformed from round 1, with new rubber giving them the boost to go for it. The KBB Doors machine was flying, and compared with Eugene Donnelly through the stage, they would be almost a second up halfway in. But disaster was to strike again, as a broken rear diff hit with 3 miles to go. We join them on the last mile of the stage, and as we can see on the right, Eugene has caught and passed the Ford and is gradually pulling away.
Turn slow 4 left, narrow.
As they come into this left-hander, listen to the grinding of the rear diff, which almost overshadows Crawford's pace notes. The times at the bottom of the screen are the current times for the stage, taken from the stage start. Eugene pulls almost 2 seconds by this right-hander, and with 1 corner to go to the finish, Kieran would nurse the car on, with Eugene now clear in front. Completing the 7.5 miles with the last half of the stage on a broken rear diff, they stay close, conceding 2.9 seconds and take 4th overall. George Robinson and Tommy Spears would benefit from the retirements of 2 of the lead contenders to move up the leaderboard, with the former national champion placing 9th. Glenn Allen and John Gallagher have had their problems in the past, and with trouble doing the rounds in stage 1, they stay clear, taking 5th on the rally leaderboard behind Kieran Shaw. The high speeds favoured Richard Hogg and Mark Hanna in the opening test. The Evo 6 wouldn't like the tighter sections though, but pushing on, Richard takes 6th overall and the early Group N lead. 0.7 of a second is the rally lead. The potential war to be waged at the front concedes another casualty, as Kieran Shaw is forced to retire. Raymond Mason and Peter Martin make a good start in stage 1, a 2.5 off Dennis Biggerstaff, taking 8th overall and 2nd on Group N behind Richard Hogg. Kevin Lynch and Martin McNichols settle in well, staying close to George Robinson. The KPL Impreza kicked off their event, taking 10th overall, a second shy of George. Number 1 seed in Class 7, Martin Elliott and Brian Crawford should have an advantage with their unique 4-wheel drive Corsa, but finding problems in stage 1, they drop back to 5th. In 2002, Brian Muldoon's car featured in this event after a blinding performance by Charlie Beattie. With Charlie on the notes, Brian is driving this year, and they set the pace in Class 7 and lie 12th overall. Andy McGee and Andy Hamilton returned to action after their bad crash on the GMW Stages rally back in February. Getting back into the swing of things, the Mark II would settle in on stage 1, posting a time 3 seconds off Brian Muldoon to lie 2nd 2-wheel drive car, 2nd in Class 7, and round off the overall top 15. Also settling in on the first stage of the day were Dominic Carson and William Brown. Dudgeon Bridge would spare them on the first stage, as no major problems would hit their Mark II, with a clean run through the test, placing them just shy of the overall top 10 in Class 7. In Class 6, it will be Patrick Bonner and Derek Montgomery who set the early pace. In true Class 6 fashion, they will lead by the narrowest of margins, by only 1/10 of a second. 5 seconds back from Andy McGee, Rodney McKnight and Owen McErlane would take the lead in Class 5, with their Sunbeam opening a 17-second class lead and 17th overall. In Class 4, the early scalp went to Harry McAllister and Alec Ewart, setting fastest by 10 seconds from John Devlin. Colin Britton and Kenny Hull set a time 4 seconds adrift of Harry in stage 1, also moving ahead of John Devlin and take the Class 3 lead on the Dudgeon Bridge test. Francis Ray and Joe McNulty pushed their Civic through the first stage of the day, and after a clean run, set fastest in Class 1, 16 seconds clear to take the class lead. After stage 1, Gary White leads the rally by 0.7 of a second from Eugene Donnelly. James Gillen is 3rd, but with Kieran Shaw's retirement, Glenn Allen will move up from 5th to 4th, with Richard Hogg taking 5th.